Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time you've sent in some super interesting sources all about Moshy weight loss.
Moshy weight loss.
Yeah, and we've got a pretty detailed guide on how effective Moshy is supposed to be and like what the benefits are. But we also have this comparative review that focuses on something called Mosh shakes.
Mosh shakes, okay.
Yeah, so right off the bat, are Moshy and Mosh two different things, or is it just like two ways of saying the same thing?
Yeah, that's a good question right off the bat.
Yeah, that's one of the things I kind of want to figure out today as we go through all this stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely a little curious, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And to add another layer to that too, the review focusing on Mosh the shakes is specifically comparing those to other meal replacement shakes in Australia.
Okay.
So geographically, we're down under.
Gotcha. So maybe Moshy is like the parent company and Mosh is their Australian shake line?
Yeah, it could be.
We'll see if that theory holds water as we kind of dive in.
All right.
So first things first, what exactly is this Moshy weight loss or Mosh thing?
Well, both sources describe it as a dietary supplement.
Okay.
And it's designed to help with weight loss.
Okay, makes sense.
The guide emphasizes Moshy being marketed as a quote-unquote natural solution with a blend of ingredients like green tea extract, Garcinia cambogia,
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
caffeine, CLA, and apple cider vinegar.
Okay, so they're hitting all the like popular weight loss ingredients.
Yeah, for sure.
But how is all that supposed to actually work? Do they like make fat disappear?
If only it were that simple.
Right.
Well, the sources point to a few key mechanisms. So one is appetite suppression.
Okay, so you eat less.
Exactly, helping you feel fuller so you eat less.
Makes sense.
Then there's the classic metabolism boost.
Oh yeah, you hear that one all the time.
Right, so the idea is that your body burns more calories even when you're at rest.
Okay, so like just sitting around, you're burning more.
Exactly, and then there's something called fat oxidation,
Fat oxidation, okay.
which supposedly helps your body use stored fat for energy.
Okay.
And of course, like many supplements, they also claim to boost your energy levels.
Okay, so a multi-pronged approach.
Yeah, you could say that.
But what exactly is fat oxidation? It sounds pretty technical.
It's actually a natural process that happens in your body all the time.
Oh, okay.
So like when you exercise, for example,
Mm,
your body uses oxygen to break down fat molecules for energy.
okay, I knew that part.
Right. And some of the ingredients in Moshy, like the green tea extract and CLA, are thought to potentially enhance this process, making your body more efficient at burning fat.
So it's not like creating some new magical process, but rather it's like giving a nudge to something your body already does.
Yeah, exactly. Giving it a little boost.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it sounds like those Mars shakes are a big part of the picture, right?
Yeah, I was just going to get to that.
Okay, yeah.
So the review positions those shakes as a low-calorie, high-protein meal replacement.
Yep, convenience is key, right?
Yeah, so instead of grabbing like a burger, you grab a shake when you're short on time or whatever.
Exactly. Quick and easy.
Okay, so the shakes are like part of the Moshy system, but they also seem to be marketed as their own separate thing, at least in Australia.
Yeah, seems that way.
But here's the million-dollar question. Does any of this actually work?
Yeah, good question.
What are people saying about Moshy weight loss?
Well, the Moshy Weight Loss guide offers a mix of customer reviews.
Okay.
Some are positive and some are negative.
Oh, so it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, you could say that.
What are some of the positives?
Well, some people rave about noticeable weight loss,
Okay,
increased energy,
that's great.
and how easy it is to just incorporate into their daily routines.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want, right? Something
Exactly.
effective but easy.
Sure.
What about the negative side? What are people not happy about?
Well, some people report mild side effects,
Like what?
like digestive discomfort, headaches.
Oh, headaches are the worst.
Yeah, they can be.
Could that be from the caffeine, maybe?
Possibly. Yeah, and then there's the classic results may vary caveat.
Right.
It's not a magic bullet.
Yeah, no magic bullets.
And what works for one person might not work for another.
That's a good reminder because everybody's different.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about the Mosh Shake review? Any interesting feedback there?
Yeah, that review specifically calls out the shakes as being particularly effective for people with a BMI over 30.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they even cite studies showing an average weight loss of 5 to 7% within the first 3 months for people using the shakes as part of a partial meal replacement plan.
So maybe there's something to that more targeted approach.
Yeah, could be.
Like the shakes seem to be a key part of their strategy, especially for people with higher BMIs.
Seems that way.
But let's zoom out a bit beyond the shakes. What are some of the potential benefits of Moshy weight loss as a whole?
Well, the guide really leans into the natural ingredients angle,
Hmm.
which can be appealing to people who are wary of artificial ingredients or pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, a lot of people are looking for more natural options these days.
Definitely. And they also suggest that you don't need to make drastic lifestyle changes.
Oh, so they're saying you can just keep living your life and this will work.
Pretty much, yeah. And they emphasize that Moshy can fit into various diets like keto or vegan.
Oh, okay, so they're trying to cover all the bases.
Yeah, and they highlight its affordability compared to some other weight loss options.
So they're casting a pretty wide net,
Definitely.
trying to appeal to people who want a seemingly easy
Right.
and natural way to lose weight without breaking the bank.
Exactly.
But let's be real, there are always two sides to every coin.
Yeah, that's true.
What about potential downsides or side effects?
Yeah.
What should people be aware of before diving into Moshy?
You're right. It's important to consider the full picture.
Uh
The guide does mention the possibility of digestive issues,
oh.
like bloating or diarrhea.
Oh, not good.
Not fun at all, which could be related to some of the ingredients.
Okay.
The caffeine content could lead to insomnia for some people.
Oh yeah, if you're sensitive to caffeine, that
Yes.
could be a problem.
Definitely. And of course, there's always the risk of allergic reactions, as with any supplement that contains a mix of ingredients.
Yeah, you never know what you might react to.
Right.
So nothing too out of the ordinary for a supplement like this.
I would say so.
Anything specific to the most shakes in terms of side effects?
Well, the review mentions that some people experience initial hunger pangs,
Yeah.
which makes sense since you're reducing your calorie intake when you replace meals with shakes.
Right. Your body needs time to adjust.
Exactly.
But I think it's important to emphasize what both sources stressed.
Yeah.
You should always consult with a healthcare professional
Absolutely.
before starting any new supplement
Yeah, especially if you have pre-existing conditions.
or are taking medication.
Always talk to your doctor first.
Exactly. Your health is your most valuable asset.
Couldn't agree more.
So let's say someone's talked to their doctor, gotten the green light, and they're ready to try Moshy or Mosh. Are there any tips for getting the most out of it?
Well, both sources emphasize that Moshy is not a magic bullet,
Right. No magic bullets.
and it works best when combined with a healthy lifestyle.
The classic advice.
Right. They recommend incorporating a balanced diet and regular exercise into your routine for sustainable long-term weight loss.
No shortcuts, huh?
Not really, no.
Guess that's a life lesson that applies to pretty much everything.
I would say so.
But the Mosh review gets a bit more specific, right?
Yeah, they suggest starting with 2 shakes per day, replacing 2 meals.
Okay.
For 12 weeks if you're looking for more rapid weight loss.
Okay.
Then you can scale back to 1 shake per day for maintenance or slower weight loss.
Makes sense.
They also mentioned that Mosh offers dietary support from registered dietitians for those who want personalized guidance.
That's a nice touch.
It is.
Having access to professional support can make a big difference, especially for people who are new to meal replacements
Yeah.
or just need some extra accountability.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's talk logistics. Where can you actually buy Moshy Weight Loss, and are there any other products or services they offer?
Okay, so the Moshy Guide says it's available through their official website,
Go.
online retailers, and some health stores.
Okay.
They don't go into a lot of detail about other offerings. However, the Mosh review mentions that in addition to shakes,
Right.
they also offer weight loss medication and a separate dietitian program.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it seems like they're really trying to position themselves as a one-stop shop for weight loss solutions, at least in Australia.
Okay, so that further reinforces the idea that Moshy is a broader brand and Mosh is their Australian shake-focused line with some extras.
Yeah, it seems to be pointing in that direction.
And since the Mosh review is all about comparisons, I'm curious how those shakes stack up against other popular options in Australia.
Yeah.
Do they hold their own?
They do. The review provides a very handy table that compares Mosh shakes to Optifast,
Okay.
the man shake and the lady shake in Optislim.
Okay, wow. So they really went all out,
Yeah, the demo.
breaking it down.
And it breaks down everything from price and serving size to nutritional content and target audience.
That sounds incredibly useful for anyone trying to make an informed decision.
Yeah, it's a really good resource.
And it's the perfect segue into part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll break down that comparison table and see how Moshy's shakes measure up against the competition.
Sounds good.
Join us then.
All right, see you there. Welcome back. Ready to dive into that comparison table and see what we can learn about Moshy shakes in the Australian market?
Let's do it. A shake showdown. I'm ready. Where do we even begin with all this information? What are some of the key factors they're comparing?
Oh, they look at everything but the kitchen sink.
Really?
Yeah, everything from the target audience,
Okay.
price both one-time purchases and subscriptions, cost per shake,
Okay.
how many servings you get, the recommended daily routine,
Wow.
nutritional content, vitamins and minerals, allergens, flavor options.
Wow, this is very comprehensive.
How long they recommend you use the product, if they have a vegan option, shipping costs, and any other weight loss solutions offered by the brand.
Okay, wow. That is a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it is.
It seems like they're really trying to give you a complete picture of how these shakes stack up.
Yeah, I think that's their goal.
So where does Mosh land in all of this? What are their standout features?
Well, one thing that jumps out is their target audience.
Okay.
They're focusing on people with a BMI over 30 or those with a BMI of 27 who have obesity-related health conditions.
Okay.
This aligns with what we learned earlier about the shakes being particularly effective for individuals with higher BMIs.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're
Okay.
not trying to be everything to everyone. They're going for a more niche market. Do you think that's a smart strategy?
It could be by focusing on a specific group of people, they can tailor their product and marketing more effectively, and it seems like they're acknowledging that people with higher BMIs might have different needs and challenges when it comes to weight loss.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so they've got a clear target audience.
Yeah.
What about price? How do they compare to the other shakes in terms of affordability?
Well, Mosh seems to fall somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
They're not the cheapest, but they're not the most expensive either. A one-time purchase for a daily supply of shakes ranges from $98 to $175, depending on whether you choose the 1 or 2 shakes per day option.
Okay.
They also have a subscription option that brings the price down a bit to 89 lines to $159 per month.
Okay. So there's some flexibility there depending on your budget and commitment level.
Yeah, for sure.
But what about the cost per shake? That's probably the most apples to apples comparison, right?
Yeah, you're right. And when you break it down that way, most shakes cost between $2.80 and $3.50 per serving.
Okay.
That puts them slightly above the man shake and the lady shake, which are $2.50 per shake,
Okay.
but significantly below OptiFast, which can be as high as $5.80 per shake, depending on what package you buy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they're competitively priced, especially considering they're targeting a specific group of people who might be more willing to invest in a product that's tailored to their needs.
Yeah, definitely.
But what are people actually getting for their money? How do the
Yeah.
servings and recommended routines stack up?
So Mosh offers either 28 or 56 shakes per package, depending on whether you go for the 1 or 2 shakes per day option.
Okay.
That's pretty standard compared to the other brands, most of which offer around 60 shakes.
Okay.
Their initial recommendation is to replace 2 meals per day with shakes for 12 weeks,
Okay.
and then have 1 regular meal plus snacks.
Okay.
So it's not a complete meal replacement plan, but more of a partial replacement approach.
It's interesting that they encourage you to still have a regular meal. It seems less restrictive and more sustainable in the long run.
Yeah, I agree. It suggests they're promoting a balanced approach rather than a crash diet mentality.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Definitely.
Speaking of balance, let's talk about the nutritional content of these shakes. Are they actually healthy and nutritious?
This is where the details get interesting.
All right, let's hear
Most shakes contain 205 calories per serving,
it. Okay.
which is pretty low, especially if you're replacing 2 meals with them.
Yeah.
But they're packed with 25.2 grams of protein per serving.
Wow, that's a lot of protein. Why is that so important, especially for their target audience?
Well, protein is crucial for several reasons.
Okay,
It helps you feel full and satisfied, which can prevent overeating.
makes sense.
It also helps preserve muscle mass, which is especially important when you're losing weight.
Okay.
You don't want to just lose weight, you want to lose fat and maintain muscle.
Yeah, you want to be toned,
Exactly.
not just skinny.
Right. And for people with higher BMIs, maintaining muscle mass can be even more critical for overall health and metabolism.
Okay, so the high protein content seems like a big plus, especially for their target audience.
Definitely.
What about other nutrients like fat and carbs?
They contain 3.6 grams of fat and 15.9 grams of carbs per serving,
Okay.
with 10 grams of that being sugar.
Oh, that's a bit higher in sugar than I expected.
It is a bit higher compared to some of the other shakes.
Is that something to be concerned about?
It depends on your individual dietary needs and goal. If you're watching your sugar intake, it's something to keep in mind. But it's important to remember that these shakes are designed to be part of a balanced diet, not your sole source of nutrition.
Right, it's all about context.
Exactly.
What about micronutrients? Do they offer a good balance of vitamins and minerals?
They boast 16 vitamins and minerals,
Oh,
which is a decent amount,
Yeah.
but some of the other brands offer upwards of 25.
Oh, wow.
However, it's not just about quantity, it's about the specific nutrients and whether they meet your individual needs.
Right. You might be getting a lot of vitamin A, but not enough iron or something.
Exactly.
Okay, so you might have to do a little more research and compare the labels to see which shake aligns best with your dietary needs.
Definitely.
Are there any other potential drawbacks we should be aware of?
Well, the most shakes contain milk and soy,
Okay,
so they're not suitable for people with those allergies.
that makes sense.
They also don't currently offer a vegan option, which some of their competitors do.
Okay, so that's a definite limitation for people with those dietary restrictions.
Yeah.
What about flavors? Variety is the spice of life, especially when you're drinking shakes every day.
That's true. Unfortunately, they only offer 2 flavor options, which is quite limited compared to some of the other brands that have a whole rainbow of flavors.
Oh, so they might not be the most exciting choice for people who get bored easily?
Yeah, that's true.
But what about their overall philosophy? Do they have a specific program or approach to weight loss beyond just the shakes?
Well, they recommend sticking with the shakes for 12 weeks,
Okay.
or until you reach your weight loss goal.
Okay.
Starting with 2 shakes per day for rapid weight loss, then reducing to 1 for maintenance or slower weight loss.
Okay.
They also emphasize that this should be part of a balanced diet and healthy lifestyle.
Okay, so they're not just throwing shakes at you and saying good luck. They offer some guidance and structure, and don't forget they also offer that extra support with the dietitian program if you want more personalized guidance.
Yeah, that's true. They seem to be taking a more comprehensive approach to weight loss, which could be a big selling point for some people. But before we move on to their other weight loss offerings, let's wrap up our shake analysis. What are your final thoughts on how Modest shakes compare to the competition?
Overall, they seem like a solid option, especially for their target audience of people with higher BMIs. The high protein content, the partial meal replacement approach, and the extra support they offer all stand out as positive features.
I agree.
But they do have some limitations,
Right.
like the limited flavor options and the lack of a vegan option.
Yeah.
It really comes down to your individual needs, preferences, and budget.
Well said. And now that we've explored the shakes in depth, let's shift gears and look at those other weight loss solutions that Moshy offers. This is where things get even more interesting.
Okay, so we've covered the Moshy shakes. We talked about price, nutrition, how they fit into a weight loss plan. But you mentioned that they have some other weight loss solutions as well. This is where I'm really curious to see what they're offering.
Yeah, it does make you wonder what else they have up their sleeve.
Right.
Well, the review mentions that Mamash also offers weight loss medication for $13 a day
Okay.
and a separate dietitian program for $50 per month.
Okay, so they're branching out beyond shakes and getting into more comprehensive territory.
Yeah, seems like it.
But $13 a day for medication, that's a pretty steep price tag. Do we know anything about what type of medication it is or who it's intended for?
Unfortunately, the review doesn't delve into the specifics of the medication. It simply lists the price, which is actually quite a bit higher than the cost of the shakes themselves.
Yeah, that's a bit of a red flag for me.
Yeah.
It definitely raises some questions. What kind of medication warrants that price?
Yeah.
Is it a prescription medication? Is it safe? Is it effective? There's definitely a need for more research there if someone's considering that route.
Absolutely. I completely agree. It's crucial to understand the potential risks and benefits of any medication before you start taking it. It's not something to be taken lightly.
For sure. What about the dietitian program? Is that more fleshed out in the review?
Yeah, they give us a little bit more information about that. The program includes 1 video call per month with a registered dietitian,
Okay.
weekly meal plans,
Nice.
weekly educational emails, and unlimited messaging with your dietitian.
Okay, so it sounds like a pretty comprehensive package for anyone who wants personalized guidance and support throughout their weight loss journey.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's interesting that they offer this as a standalone option, even if you're not using their shakes.
Yeah, I find that really fascinating as well. It seems like they're trying to position themselves as more than just a shake company.
Yeah.
Maybe they're aiming to be a partner in your overall health and wellness journey, regardless of whether you use their products or not.
That's a great observation. It suggests a shift in their approach, perhaps moving towards a more holistic model.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if it's a genuine commitment to overall health or maybe a savvy marketing tactic to expand their customer base.
Yeah. It's hard to say for sure, but I do think it speaks to a larger trend we're seeing in the weight loss industry.
Oh, what's that?
Well, it's moving away from restrictive diets and quick fixes towards sustainable lifestyle changes and personalized support.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
People are starting to realize that there's no magic bullet for weight loss.
Right.
and that long-term success requires a holistic approach that addresses individual needs and challenges.
Exactly. It's about finding what works for you, what you can stick with, and what supports your overall well-being.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Moshy weight loss, what are the key takeaways for our listeners?
I think the biggest takeaway is that Moshy, or Mosh as it's called in Australia, presents a bit of a mixed bag.
Okay.
There's potential for their product and programs to be helpful, especially with their emphasis on high-protein shakes for people with higher BMIs. And it's great that they offer personalized support with their dietitian program.
But it's important to remember that it's not a miracle cure, and the reviews are mixed. Some people achieve great results while others don't see much change, and there are some potential downsides to be aware of, like the limited flavor options for the shakes and the lack of transparency regarding their weight loss medication.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's crucial to do your research, weigh the pros and cons, and consult with your healthcare provider before making any decisions.
Absolutely, and perhaps the most thought-provoking question is, what is Moshy really trying to achieve? Are they primarily a shake company? Or are they striving to become a more comprehensive wellness brand with their medication and dietitian program?
That's a great question for our listener to ponder.
Yeah.
It highlights the importance of looking beyond the marketing and really considering what aligns with your individual needs and priorities.
Do you just want a convenient meal replacement? Or are you seeking comprehensive guidance and support?
Yeah.
And how does the cost align with the value you perceive?
Exactly. Ultimately, there are no easy answers when it comes to weight loss.
No.
But that's the beauty of a deep dive like this. We've explored the information, the different perspectives, the nuances. Now it's up to you, the listener, to decide what resonates with you and what makes sense for your unique journey.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We hope this deep dive into Moshy weight loss has been helpful and informative. Remember, informed decision-making is crucial when it comes to your health and well-being.
Do your research, talk to your healthcare providers, and choose the path that feels right for you.
That wraps up our deep dive. Until next time, happy diving.